And this golden age lasted around 200 years until a very tragic event for the area, a very traumatic period, the war between Sweden and Denmark. With the consequence, you know, that the Öresund area has been cut into parts. And Helsingør has been cut for her, let's say, Siamese twin sister, who was Helsingborg. And she has been cut also from Scania, who was the mainland, the political father of Helsingør. And Helsingborg has been cut also for her Siamese twin sister, but also cut from a sort of adoptive father who was Stockholm. But Stockholm was very far. So Helsingborg felt a bit lonely, like an abandoned child. That's why they received this Bernadotte, this Maréchal Bernadotte, with so much splendor, with emotions. Because Helsingborg thought that was a new adoptive father, more gentle, more kind than the other ones. But in fact, Bernadotte went through Helsingborg because he was always seasick. He was afraid of the sea. Between Helsingør and Helsingborg, it was the smallest sea path. So we can say that Helsingborg stayed lonely for, let's say, 200 years until the arrival of the train. And the train really inseminated the city, which was a small village, and because of the train, the penetration of the train becomes big and fast and industrial. While at the same time, Helsingør was in a big depression because the two sound system had to stop because of the American ships which refused to pay the tax anymore. So you imagine the situation. Helsingør had to stop this jackpot period, so the city had to work. That was the end of the fiesta. The big party was over. It was the time to work, and that's why they decided to build ships in the shipyards. It was a good idea in a way, but it was almost the only one industry in the city. So the Helsingør didn't resist to the economic crisis of the 70s and 80s and went again in a new depression. While at the same time, Helsingborg resisted quite well because of a sort of industrial biodiversity. And the nice thing at this period is that Helsingborg came to visit her Siamese twin sister, to talk with her, to take care of her, to have a drink with her, and she even bought some local products to help the economy of Helsingør to survive. Local products like bottles of champagne, bottles of wine, or bottles of whiskey. Until, of course, the currency rate became not to be so attractive. At that time, a new member of the family arrived, because you see, Copenhagen in the late 60s had the sensation to be a bit too fat. So the city decided to transfer some population in her fingers, and that's how Crocodile was born. In a place where there used to be these two houses, one yellow, one red, and in fact, that's the beginning, in fact, of the bad reputation of Crocodile. Because there's two houses were working houses, where since 1830, poor people, children without parents, and people sick in their mind were gathered. And this bad reputation, you know, is still going on. Even the place of crocodile is very nice, friendly, attractive, welcoming, a bit funny, and looks more like a holiday place than a street of Chicago. And we had the sensation is that crocodile still assumes her bad reputation with these houses made for dogs and painted in yellow and red, like the working houses before. But anyway, a crocodile still feels lonely, like an abandoned child, and that hasn't the sensations to be part of the family tree. Family tree where we have to add, of course, the island of Vane, because Tycho Brahe used to live there. That's where he built his amazing laboratory, and that's where he discovered, let's say, 777 stars, a sort of Milky Way. A Milky Way he discovered without the use of the telescope, which hadn't been invented at that time. That's why his eyes were damaged. And that's why we can consider him in this family tree like a silly uncle. But the most interesting thing in the life of Tycho Brahe is his death. Because maybe you know, he was in a banquet, a very long banquet, and he ate a lot, and he didn't go to the toilets because he had a problem with his knee. So that's why suddenly he exploded. And he died in the middle of his excrement. And it can be a very nice story. No, it's not a nice story, but it can be a very interesting story if you transfer it to the modern times. Because we are in a world, because of the over-consuming, which is maybe in the danger, not to explode, but to die in the middle of his excrements, the joints or the pollution. And the last member of this family tree is, of course, Hamlet, the great Hamlet. You can see there. If you got but the great Hamlet is somewhere there. And Hamlet is first very interesting concerning the history of the psychoanalysis, because maybe it's a sort of second level of Oedipus. Oedipus, you know, has killed his father before marrying her mother. And in the tragedy of Shakespeare, Hamlet is mad. He's mad because his uncle has killed his father, the father of Hamlet, before marrying the mother of Hamlet. So he's mad against his uncle, but at the same time he feels a bit guilty because he could have the same wishes than the uncle had, you see? So he hesitates to kill or not to kill his uncle, and at the end he died. And maybe today we are at a third level of Oedipus, a second level of Hamlet, because in a way, because of the over-consuming, we are wrapping our mother, the earth, the nature, Gaia, if you like. And after having killed the father, the goat, the beliefs in goats, and the father god has been transformed in the state father, the government. And we don't know if we have to kill the government, the father, because of the business. It's better not to have so much government for the business. And some of our people, they want to keep the government as a sort of father which gives everybody, everything. You understand? So, do we have to stop to wrapping to wrap our mother because consuming is fun? Do we have to kill the father or not? So we hesitate this day. We have to find a solution, a new way. Instead, we are intended to have died.